Here is a question that sounds almost too light for prehistory. What did early humans do for fun? When people imagine ancient life, they usually picture hunger, predators, cold nights, broken tools, dangerous births, and the constant pressure to survive. Fun sounds like a modern luxury, something that appears after farms, cities, money, weekends, and free time. If every day could become a struggle, why would anyone waste energy playing, laughing, dancing, teasing, singing, making stories, decorating objects, or inventing games? But that question may be backwards. Fun may not have been a break from survival. It may have been part of survival. A group that laughs together can release tension. Children who play can practice chasing, hiding, throwing, climbing, balancing, copying adults, reading faces, and testing rules without the full danger of real life. Adults who sing, dance, tell stories, joke, or compete can strengthen trust, teach memory, display skill, and turn fear into shared emotion. What looks useless from the outside may have helped hold the group together. The popular image of early humans as serious, silent survivors is probably too flat. They had bodies that got tired, but also bodies that moved to rhythm. They had fears, but also faces built for laughter. They had danger, but also children who needed to learn through play. They had grief, conflict, hunger, and uncertainty, but they also had evenings near fire, quiet moments after food, playful insults, strange stories, body decoration, and the simple relief of being alive with others after another risky day. That does not mean ancient life was a festival. Fun had limits. A game could not ignore hunger forever. A dance could not stop a storm. A joke could not heal every wound. But if humans only worked, watched, feared, and slept, they would be missing something deeply human. The ability to play may have helped them learn, bond, remember, compete safely, and survive stress without breaking apart. So this video is not about imagining prehistoric people as carefree cartoon cavemen. It is about asking why joy appears even in hard places. What did early humans do when survival gave them a little space? And why might laughter, rhythm, play, and story have mattered more than they seem? The mistake is thinking fun begins only after survival is solved. In modern life, fun is often placed in a separate category from serious things. Work first, play later. Safety first, entertainment later. But in a prehistoric world, play, humor, rhythm, and story may not have been extra decorations added on top of life. They may have been ways of making life work. So the better question is not, how did early humans have time for fun? The better question is, what kinds of fun helped a small group learn, bond, and recover from danger that changes the frame? A child chasing another child through camp is not only wasting energy, they may be practicing speed, balance, attention, and social rules. A young person throwing stones at a target may be playing, competing, and training a survival skill at the same time. A joke after a tense moment may lower conflict before anger spreads. A song or rhythm may help people move together, remember together, or feel like one group after fear has pulled them apart. This also prevents the myth that fun is useless. The human brain learns through play because play creates a safe version of serious problems. Children can pretend to hunt, hide, fight, carry, follow, and escape before those actions become real. Adults can use teasing to correct someone without turning every mistake into a fight. Stories can turn danger into memory. Dancing can turn bodies into coordination. Decoration can turn identity into something visible. Laughter can tell the group for a moment that the threat has passed. Ancient fun was probably not separate from survival the way modern entertainment often is. It was woven into learning, teaching, flirting, competing, grieving, and making time pass. The group did not need a theatre, a phone, or a holiday to create play. It needed bodies, voices, rhythm, imagination, and enough safety for a few moments of fear to become laughter. To understand ancient fun, you have to place it inside a life where the border between work and play was much thinner than it is today. A child practicing with a small stick might be playing, but also copying hunters. A group clapping in rhythm might be relaxing, but also building coordination. Someone decorating a body with pigment might be expressing beauty, but also identity, status, belonging, or a role in a story. In a small camp, fun was not always separated from learning, teaching, bonding, and survival. Early humans probably did not have free time in the modern calendar sense, but they did have changing rhythms. There were moments after a successful hunt, after food was processed, during long walks beside fire in sheltered weather, while children played near adults or during seasonal gatherings when groups met. These spaces mattered. A dangerous life does not erase the need for release. It may make release more important. Laughter after fear can tell the nervous system that the group is still alive. A shared song can make many bodies feel like one. A story can turn a frightening event into something remembered, controlled, and taught. The group context shaped the fun too. Children needed play because they were not born knowing how to be human. They had to learn balance, throwing, chasing, hiding, social boundaries, imitation, and emotional control. Young adults could use games, dancing, joking, and competition to display skill, courage, timing, and attractiveness without turning everything into real conflict. Elders could use stories, teasing, memory, and rhythm to teach without giving a formal lesson. The ancient context was not endless leisure. Hunger, weather, injury, predators, and conflict could interrupt joy at any time. But humans are not machines that survive only by eating and avoiding danger. They survive by making groups feel worth staying inside. Fun may have been one of the ways a hard life became bearable, teachable, and shared. The evidence for ancient fun is difficult because laughter does not fossilize. A joke disappears with the breath that made it. A dance leaves no clear footprint unless the ground preserves a rare moment. A story can shape a group for generations and still leave no object behind. So the evidence has to come from things that survive better. Instruments, art, ornaments, children's traces, and the way living foragers show that play and learning can overlap. The first layer is music. Upper Paleolithic bone flutes, including finds from caves in Germany, show that early modern humans made instruments tens of thousands of years ago. A flute is not a spear, scraper, or digging stick. It does not feed the body directly. It suggests sound, rhythm, gathering, teaching, performance, or shared emotion. Music may have been pleasure, but pleasure itself can bind people together. The second layer is art and decoration. Engraved ochre, beads, pigments, cave paintings, carved figures, and personal ornaments show that humans spent time making things meaningful, beautiful, visible, or memorable. Not every symbol was fun in the simple sense. Some may have been identity, ritual, status, teaching, or belief, but they show that ancient humans were not only solving calories, they were shaping experience. The third layer is children. Hunter-gatherer children learn many skills through observation, imitation, participation, and play. A child pretending to hunt, throwing at targets, chasing, hiding, wrestling, balancing, or copying adults is not wasting time in a modern way. Play creates a low-risk version of serious life. It lets the body practice before mistakes become deadly. The fourth layer is social behavior. Humans use humor, teasing, rhythm, games, and stories to manage tension. A teasing joke can correct behavior without open conflict. A shared dance can turn separate bodies into one group. A story can make danger memorable. The evidence cannot tell us every ancient game or joke, but it points to a species that made sound, image, ornament, movement, and imagination part of group life. So ancient fun was probably not separate from survival. It was one of the ways survival became learnable, bearable, and worth sharing. The mechanism of fun begins with safe simulation. Play lets a body practice serious skills without facing the full cost of failure. A child chasing another child is learning speed, balance, timing, and reading intention. A child hiding behind a tree is learning concealment and attention. A young person throwing stones at a mark is learning aim, force, patience, and competition. The action feels playful, but the nervous system is rehearsing problems that could later matter for hunting, escape, and grop life. The second mechanism is social bonding. A small group cannot survive only by standing near each other. It has to feel like a group. Shared laughter, rhythm, stories, teasing, and games can pull people back together after fear, hunger, or conflict. A joke can reduce tension before anger becomes dangerous. A song can make separate voices move as one. A dance can synchronize bodies and emotions. Fun creates the feeling that other people are not only useful, but worth staying with. The third mechanism is teaching without turning every lesson into command. Stories can carry warnings about animals, rivers, strangers, food, weather, or mistakes. Teasing can correct selfish behavior without open punishment. Imitation games let children copy adults before they are trusted with real tools or danger. Rhythm makes memory easier to hold. Fun softens learning so the group can repeat lessons without making life feel like constant threat. The final mechanism is recovery. Stress cannot stay high forever without damaging cooperation. After a hunt, a scare, a death, or a hard season, humans needed ways to bring the body back from alarm. Laughter, play, music, and storytelling do not erase danger, but they help the group digest it. Ancient fun was not a distraction from survival. It was one way the group repaired itself after survival had been difficult. Imagine an evening after a difficult but successful day. The group has eaten enough that hunger is no longer the loudest thing in the camp. The fire is low, children are still awake, and the adults are tired in the heavy way that comes after work, danger, and relief. For a while, nobody is doing anything that looks important from far away. Then one child grabs a short stick and copies the way an adult threw a spear earlier. The motion is clumsy, too dramatic, and everyone sees it. Another child laughs and runs. Soon there is chasing around the edge of the firelight, mock hunting, hiding behind adults, falling, getting up, and trying again. It looks like play, because it is play. But inside the play, bodies are learning balance, timing, aim, fear control, and how to read another person's movement. Nearby, a young adult taps a rhythm on a piece of wood. Someone answers with hands. The rhythm spreads because the body wants to join what it can predict. Feet begin to move. An elder makes a funny imitation of a person who slipped earlier that day, and the group laughs because the danger has passed. The joke does not erase the memory. It makes the memory safe enough to hold. Later, a story begins. A hunt becomes larger in the telling. The animal becomes faster. The mistake becomes funnier. The person who panicked is teased, but gently, not to destroy them. Children listen. Not because someone announces a lesson, but because the story carries one. Do not run the wrong way. Watch the wind. Stay near the group. Fear can happen, but it does not have to become shame forever. Nothing about this scene is useless. The laughter loosens tension. The play trains bodies. The rhythm synchronizes people. The story stores danger inside memory. For a moment, survival is not only eating and avoiding death. It is the group proving to itself that life is still worth sharing. The twist is that fun may have been serious without feeling serious. That is what makes play so powerful. If a child is ordered to practice balance, aim, hiding, social timing, and courage, the lesson becomes heavy. But if the child chases, laughs, falls, throws, copies and pretends, the same lessons enter the body through joy. Play hides training inside pleasure. That may be why fun appears even in hard lives. It is not always a reward after survival. Sometimes it is how survival skills become repeatable. A group can tell a warning once and watch it fade, or turn it into a story that children want to hear again. A person can be corrected with anger, or teased in a way that makes the rule memorable without breaking the relationship. A frightening event can remain pure fear, or become a joke that proves the group survived it. So the surprising answer is not that early humans somehow found time for fun despite danger. The deeper answer is that danger may have made fun more necessary. Laughter tells the nervous system that the threat has passed. Rhythm makes bodies feel coordinated. Games let young people test skill without real injury. Stories let the group carry old danger into the future without forcing everyone to relive the fear raw. Ancient fun was not modern entertainment with prehistoric costumes. It was emotional technology. It helped humans practice, bond, flirt, compete, teach, recover, and remember. In a world where life could become tense quickly, fun gave the group a way to breathe together. It turned survival from a burden carried alone into an experience shared by many bodies, voices, and imaginations. Today, fun is often treated as something separate from survival. It is what you do after work, after responsibility, after the serious part of life has been handled. You watch, play, joke, dance, sing, scroll, compete, and tell stories because the body wants relief. But if you look deeper, the ancient pattern is still there. Fun is rarely only useless. It teaches, bonds, releases pressure, and makes people want to stay near one another. That is the mirror between you and your ancestors. Early humans may not have had weekends, theatres, sports leagues, streaming screens, or toys bought from a store, but they had the raw materials of fun. Bodies, voices, rhythm, imitation, teasing, curiosity, firelight, children, memory, and imagination. A stick could become a spear in a child's game. A mistake could become a joke. A dangerous hunt could become a story. A rhythm could pull tired people into movement. A painted body, a carved object, a bead or a song could make identity visible. This matters because survival is not only about staying alive one more day. It is also about keeping the group emotionally alive. A group that never laughs may still eat, but it becomes harder to trust, forgive, teach, and recover. Play gives children practice before real danger arrives. Humor lets adults correct each other without turning every fault into a fight. Stories make memory portable. Music and rhythm make many bodies feel less separate. Fun turns a hard life into something the group can carry together. So what did early humans do for fun? They probably played, joked, chased, wrestled, danced, sang, told stories, copied adults, decorated bodies, made sounds, competed, teased, and invented small games from the materials around them. We cannot recover every joke, song, or laugh. Most of it vanished the moment it happened, but the need behind it did not vanish. The serious truth is that fun was never just decoration. It was one way humans learned to be human. Before entertainment became an industry, joy was already a survival language, a way to practice danger, soften fear, remember lessons, and make the group worth returning to when the world outside the fire was still uncertain.